Reading for July 15th. It looks like we cleared Mercury just fine. We all survived it. I don't know about you, but my car is still funky. I'm going to shuffle these cards and look at your Scorpio reading for this week. One good shuffle here and one good shuffle here. General spread and a moon reading. Ooh, we're going to move these over. All right, here we go, Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, one of my favorites. Or I should say they show up in my life well. All right. Oh, being told to shuffle one more time. Here we go. Ooh, the Empress. Ooh, I like the Empress. It's one of my favorite cards. Two of Cups. Now, interesting. So balance has been a huge player in the last two readings that we've had, both for Libra and for Scorpio, or Libra and Virgo. Judgment card was also in play too. It amazes me how similar the cards can be between readings, especially as they go through the decans, right? But we do have astrological aspects that are going on around us, so they do affect the readings, and we have a theme here. Interestingly enough, you have some major cards in here. The Judgment card is huge in the last couple readings. So difference between being judgmental and having good judgment, right? We have the Empress card. The Empress has to do with a nurturing type of leadership. So think of an emperor. They go get, and empresses are kind of the divine feminine energy or the mother. It can indicate pregnancy. However, it also references being a fullness of time. It's high time for something to happen in something or take on leadership. So you have the Empress here first. See the balance of the zodiac and the feminine symbol here. Think of the situation and how they would affect it. We also have the Two of Cups, and that's our card for balance. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Now remember, aces are our trump cards, okay? So what is a new beginning that you have regarding money? Now, if you look at this here, we have the Nine of Swords. How late have you been up at night? Are you getting any sleep? Is there insomnia involved, like too much sleep, too little sleep? Are you laying in bed at night thinking of all of the different, things that you need to get done? Is there run-on thoughts or obsession that's going on? Because sometimes you can't get something off your mind. You also have the Ten of Wands, which is your card for burden. So this is telling me that you have some things on your mind that you can't really shake. So are you meditating? That's the first question that I would ask, because when you're meditating, you can kind of shut those off or compartmentalize a little bit. With the Ten of Wands in play, this is our card for burden. So what is it that you're duty bound to do? I do see the Lover's card, the Three of Cups. So is there someone out there that has a lot of chemistry for you, where you're feeling as if there's this new beginning? I'm also seeing the Hangman. With the Hangman in play, it tells it that there's a delay or something is taking its time. I want you to think of a seed. It goes through its paces and it goes through its timeline, and it takes its own pace to getting things done. What does a seed need but privacy and dark and quiet in order for it to pop out? So the Hangman, even though it's a delay, it's usually for your benefit. It's the breaks in life or the speed bump. The Hangman isn't somebody that's hung by the neck. There's somebody that's hung by their feet. They're stuck in between two places and they're unable to move forward or back. So is this because you're undecided? Do you have too many things on your plate that you have to accommodate that prevent you from having any of that loose movement, etc.? With the Two of Swords in play, now the Two of Swords is indecision. You feel like six of one, half dozen of the other, two steps forward, one step back. You feel this inability to really make any traction or make anything move. Now, this is based on your decision making though. Like, what is it that you have to let go of? Can't fill an empty cup. Can't serve from an empty cup. Can't fill a full cup. So both of these have to do with like what it is that you're holding on to that you can't let go of. Two of Swords has to do with indecision. Now, indecision is a decision. Remember, if you can't move forward or back and you are unable to make a decision, sometimes just the fact of not knowing exactly what you want prevents you from being clear on that. Now, what I mean is, Two of Swords is our card for having two things, not exactly two paths, not having two in hand, but being undecided. Now, what happens with this is sometimes decisions have an expiration date. If I don't take this job now, I'm going to lose the opportunity. I'm always going to wonder if I had an opportunity to go work for the Peace Corps because that chance has lost its time frame or it's expired, or They've already gotten on the boat and you can't get on it, right? So just pay attention to these things because you might be ending up with a decision because you didn't make one. Now, with that in play, we also have the Three of Swords. You got a lot of swords here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 swords cards. And so some of this may mean that you're being impulsive or you're afraid you're going to be impulsive. You also have the Three of Swords, which means information exchange is not happening easily. This card literally means misinformation, disinformation, miscommunication. And when we have this card, it's our misunderstanding of the things and the facts as actually they are that prevent us from making a clear decision. So with all of these in play, all I have to say is the next little phase, you're going to have to exercise a lot of judgment, come from balance. It's going to be intense, indicated by the Chariot card, and don't be surprised if things have some more unexpected delays. There's going to be a lot on your plate, indicated by the Ten of Swords, but mostly all of this is all about how you're making your next decisions and how you're setting things up in the next few days. Let's pull some cards from this one here. This is my Steampunk Tarot for your moon reading. For your personal one-on-one and to go more in depth, please go to booking at karmaondeck.com. My schedule is on there. Also, you can see the next upcoming classes. You can sign up for spiritual mentorship and coaching if you want to get a handle on your Reiki, tarot, meditation, astrology, etc. Give you a little keys and tricks to understanding those different tools, so let me know. Let's see what your moon reading is, Scorpio. Ooh, the Devil card is coming up. What is holding you back? What bad habits do you have? What animal did you create that you are now having to disassemble? Because the Devil card really has to do with the things that are vexing us. Sometimes it can be an addiction. We did that to ourselves, right? It could be the relationship that we're in. We didn't realize that what we signed up for, and now the game has suddenly changed. We have the Temperance card, and that talks to us about balance. And when we have this balance, it is also intensity. With the Chariot card, that's forward motion, but Temperance is also about like very high intensity. Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Are you trying to save some money? You've got the Six of Pentacles, which is charity, and the Four of Pentacles, which is saving. Do I give or do I save it? Here's the thing for your moon reading. You're already stuck in this phase of thinking that some things are already in motion and that you can't really change things that are already in play, right? However, just remember, when things are in motion, it's easier to change 1 degree than it is to make a hard 90-degree left, right? So sometimes if things are in motion, it's a lot easier. Think of a bicycle, like at a stop, turning a bicycle, or a motorcycle, turning it all the way around. It's much easier when it's in motion. So motion isn't likely all the way bad, but you have this Eight of Wands that says that things have already been set off, so you're not quite sure that you can rein them back in. Again, the Three of Swords, miscommunication is really on your mind. So the thing that I have to say about your moon reading is you have the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. What that tells us is patterns are in play for you here. Repetition and redundancy and things in motion. And when you have patterns, you can likely see an outcome. And again, you have the Hermit card. Isolation is key for this. In order for you to attain balance, both indicated by the Two of Cups and the Temperance card, what it's going to do is take consistency. So even though you have the Three of Swords, which is miscommunication, you may have to ask for some help, which is something that you don't want to do. Then you also have the Eight of Pentacles. Repetition, redundancy, things are going to be repeating themselves. So what is the pattern within these different aspects? So the cool thing that I see in here is even though you feel as if things are out of balance, you have the Ace of Swords, you have the Two of Cups, and you have the Fool card. And what that tells me is things are coming into balance, even though they may feel as if they aren't. And even though you have the Hangman and you have the Hermit where you're feeling isolated and motion doesn't feel quite as if it's clicking around, you're kind of feeling stuck, you do have the World card and you do have the Ace of Swords, which tells me there's new beginnings on the horizon. So don't get in the mindset that things are going to be stuck forever. Maya Angelou says every storm runs out of rain eventually. And even though I don't feel like it's raining, you do feel a little bit stuck. That Hermit card. And remember, it's not, isolation isn't bad. Being on your own isn't bad. Sometimes it gives you those aha moments and that clarity that you need. So allow the phase. Don't disturb the phase too much or you might end up finding yourself starting over. Let's flip a card from Divination of the Ancients and see what your reading is for this week or what your indicator is. Fragmented. Now that's a perfect card for how I think the reading was. It's Shagai bones, which are kind of like runes, but you throw them and you look and it means fragmented. So what's the best way to put yourself back together? That hermit card, a little isolation. I don't care if it's a 30-minute bath. Sometimes getting a little bit of time on your own so you can stop listening to the sound of other people's voices telling you what to do, and meditating gives you an opportunity to hear what you actually want. And awareness is key. Knowing what you want and at least knowing how to express yourself is one of the best foundations for clear communication. So if you're feeling fragmented, take a step back, look at things a little objectively, get some advice, or maybe even take a weekend if you have to. I want to thank you for hanging out with me.